It did not take 2 minutes like it did yesterday, but we are here for episode fucking 100 of Superstar Spotlight. We made it this far. Shout out Deathmatch United for giving me a platform to do some silly chatting it up with wrestlers type environment. They're the whole reason that literally we have this. And the reason I have also my beautiful sponsors that I gotta shout out every single episode. My boy Ian30 out here, he just put up a fresh new flyer on his social media. Go get a cool video package made by my boy Ian. He does my intros, the outros, the Instagram clips, the Facebook reels, all that is the good work of Ian. Go subscribe to his YouTube as well. We also got the Skittle Squad. Shout out Lil Skittle doing the damn thing in his Discord server every Wednesday. We're on the road to Yardcore 4, King of the Yard, trucks to New York. Hit up Skittle, hit up me. Be there, join the Discord, find out what you're missing out on. And of course, we also got my good homie Pookie Wrestlers out of the Canadian region. Shout out Pookie, doing all these great, cool Pookie-fied wrestler designs just like this one right here. Soon to be in sticker form soon, but go get yourself Pookie-fied today. This is one of my favorite hot dog designs that I've ever received in my life. And we also got the Bocce Boys. Shout out Hammer and the crew. Always putting out fresh merch. I got the flag right behind me, couple t-shirts. They got the stickers, the patches, the glasses, the shot glasses, all over there at thebocceboys.com. Go hit up Hammer, go to the website, get some fresh stuff. We also got beat up photos. My girl Becca Dub doing the damn thing. Get a cool photographer, do the cool photographer thing. And the latest sponsor actually added to the podcast, Anti-Everything Films. This young man is doing everything cool for the VHS scene, keeping that physical wrestling media alive. We love seeing people like that. And my guest for the evening, I couldn't have asked for anyone better for episode 100 than this individual. Absolutely killing it in the South scene and everywhere else that you can see him, because he's going all over the place, honestly. I'm talking about the Moral Compass. Jaden Newman is here in the Soup Kitchen Studios. Jaden, how are you doing on this lovely evening, my friend?
Bret Hart taunts, we're doing it. Best in the Southeast. I'm doing great. Can you do me a favor? Can you put that little cute hot dog gimmick back on the screen?
There it is right here.
I love that so much.
Pookie Wrestlers. Hit him up, Jaden. Pookie makes some really great designs. Like, Pookie's one of my favorites out there.
I'm definitely going to have to hit up Pookie after this. But man, Dewey, thank you so much for having me on. I'm so pumped for this.
Absolutely, Jaden. I remember, so my thing with hitting up guests and everything, I pick out 10 different people from different parts of the wrestling world, whether it be overseas, freaking literally maybe an Iowa local, or someone like you, Jane. So when you hit me back up, I was like, oh my goodness, let's get, like, this is top tier talent I got right here. I'm very excited, Jaden, to dive deep into these questions I got on the board. I hope you are ready, my friend.
I am so ready. I was so worried that there were going to be no questions for me when you put the little gimmick up on Instagram. I was like, oh shit. Let's see what happens.
We got a handful of the presets, and then I got for you at least 6 fan-submitted questions, so a total of 23 is not terrible.
Hey, Michael Jordan, baby, let's get it.
Exactly, let's do this, and I'll kick it off like I always kick it off. Jaden Newman, what made you want to become a professional wrestler? And any memory of your first wrestling match, whether it be with the one that you attended and it really grabbed you, and your first wrestling match that you performed in yourself.
All right, I'm going to try not to make this long-winded, but it may be long-winded.
Oh no, go for it.
So around the time that I was about 7 or 8 years old, I was at the age trying to figure out what I was into as a kid, right? And my grandfather on the weekends would take me to the Eastridge Flea Market here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Whenever we went to the flea market, I stumbled upon the wrestling booth. And whenever I walked in there, they had a deal. It was like $5 for like 5 DVDs. So, of course, we took that. That's a steal. And in those 5 DVDs, there was Rey Mysterio's Master of the 619 WWE home video. So I watched that, saw where he started his journey whenever he was a young kid. And then I saw the match Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero from Howling Havoc 97. And from that moment on, I was like, that's what I want to do. Like, not even like I'm just a fan. Like, I saw that and it just clicked in my head, right? So that was like probably the first memory I had of seeing professional wrestling, like just on my TV. But then I started to go to local events that were around here. There was one over in Ringgold, which is like right across the state line from Chattanooga. And I would go there pretty frequently, and one of the first matches I saw in that was the show was called American Torture. It was like one of their biggest shows of the year. So it was like this like American Torture match, which is essentially like it was like a Southern death match, I guess was like the best way of putting it. But like they didn't have glass, but there was like thumbtacks. Like they threw each other off of the building. I remember, and like fucking went through like the windshield of a limousine. Like it was the craziest
Oh
shit.
my God.
I was like, dude, imagine how I was as a 10-year-old JADEN watching, like,
Oh, yeah.
that's awesome, right? So that would end up being the place that I would start my career training at, but I had to wait until I was 14 years old. So during that time that I wasn't able to wrestle, I was doing breakdance and tumbling for a little bit just so I could be doing something. I wasn't like big into sports as a kid. So then, as far as the first memory of me goes wrestling, I made my debut at TWE Chattanooga, August 3rd of 2013, and I was the third match on the card. Who I wrestled right now is a little hazy, but oddly enough, I remember winning my first match, which is like pretty rare when you're starting out green, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, being able to debut in the place that I would end up going on to run later is like a really cool thing to look back on,
And that actually now you are literally Mr. TWE. I wanted to talk about that one for someone who's never been to TWE like myself. That brings me this fan submitted question actually. What makes TWE different and more unique than any other wrestling venue? Or
Man,
school in that matter as well, because technically it is both.
yeah, and it's so wild because like TWE really didn't get recognized as a school probably until I'd say about 2017, 2018. Like people were training out of there, but it wasn't really a school until I took over the teaching and whatnot. And I ended up taking over the teaching because the guy that was there before, will not be named, ended up just leaving and like had a bunch of people there that needed to be trained. And I was in a position where I was like, well, I guess I have to do this. And by no means was I in the correct position to be doing it, but someone had to step up, right? But I would say what makes TWE so special is, man, we're the little engine that could, right? We were told from the time that we started, because with the origins of TWE, it was started by my grandfather. My grandfather was not in the wrestling business. He's an electrician. He's dabbled in like a bunch of different businesses since he was a young man, but like he didn't know nothing about the pro wrestling business. He only went with me to the shows and things. So he opened TWE after seeing what the scene was like, and there really wasn't much wrestling in the Chattanooga scene at that time. It was all kind of going away, and he realized that there wasn't a place for young talent to be able to really like get the reps. So, and of course, like with me being his grandson, he wanted to like make sure that like I had a place that was safe to be able to like, learn and grow. But he was also looking out for the talent to come like during that time as well and to come after. So he took me to a building which would end up being the world famous TV arena. And I thought he was just taking me to like one of his jobs or something. And I was like, so what are you doing here? Like, is it rough in, because it looked pretty rough when we first got it. And he goes, no, this is going to be TWE. And I was like, what? Like he literally picked me up from school and took me here. And I was like, what? And he was like, yep, we're going to start a wrestling show. And I was like, horrible idea. Because I was so worried I was so worried I was going to get so much heat, which I did coming up in the Chattanooga scene originally. A lot of people did not like me, including people that I now actually like consider my closest friends in the business. But yeah, we were told that TWE wouldn't last a month, wouldn't last a year, and now we're looking at year 13 come August.
Holy moly, 13 years in that building.
Yes, so literally the day that my wrestling career started was the same day that TWE started. So it's one of those things where it's like always near and dear to my heart, man. And I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that TWE's legacy continues.
Oh hell yeah! So I that only now answers that question. 13 years in the business, I assume.
Yes, yeah.
And obviously you're one of the, if not the big trainer at TWE, which now leads me to this question, Jaden. Who are some of the students that you're most proud of that you've trained?
Oh my God, you're going to get me in trouble with some of them. I'll go ahead and forewarn guys, if you are watching this, all of you, any of you, please know I love each and every single one of you. But I'm just going to name some of the guys right now that I'm especially proud of. We'll start, of course, with Jameson Shook. I trained him from the ground up. He came to me, and within a year, started having matches on our student showcase shows, which are Crash Course. And now he's the TWE champion. Then he would end up also becoming my tag partner with 4825 as the IWTV Independent Wrestling World Tag Team Champions. So he's somebody that just continues to make me proud, both in his incline in professional wrestling and in the deathmatch wrestling world. Like he's absolutely fucking killing it. And I couldn't be any prouder of him. Casey Owens, one of the hidden gems of the Southeast, man. Casey Owens has been absolutely killing it. He's a little prick, but he's one of these guys that, uses like that like grit and that like anger of like kind of looking like a Jameson Shook and going like, okay, he's getting all this. Why aren't I getting the same reception? And he's going out there and he's killing it and going balls to the wall every single time. Aaron Wade, another guy that's really killing it that I'm very proud of, especially. And like those are just the three that really come to mind off the top of my head. Damon Stryker, we'll even throw him in there, right? Damon Stryker, another guy out of the Southeast, came to me originally from the JPWA, but like we've been able to like really christen him up and get him to a really good area in his career now. So yeah, but those are the four that are really like just coming to mind out the gate that I'm like, man, like they're just doing such good things and I couldn't be prouder. And oh my God, I'm such an idiot. We'll make a fifth, Cody Manhorn.
Oh, absolutely. We love us some Cody Manhorn in this household.
Should I say more? You know what I mean? Like, look at all the things that Cody's done. And I'm very glad that I've got to do some of that with him with the overseas travels and things of that sort.
1,000%. Hell yeah. And I was going to say, Jaden, you've been running that building for so long. I got to know personally, is there ever a match that you were just sitting there watching as the booker made for a TWE show and you go, holy shit, we booked this match? Like, has there ever been any of those moments?
Man, yeah, there's been so many of them, but like, it's never been any of like the big name people that have came in, like, because we've really like established TWE with homegrown talent, which is awesome.
100%.
We've not had to rely on like, bigger indie names and whatnot. Like we created our own stars, which is so cool. So there was one match in particular, and I recommend anyone if you have an IWTV subscription, go check it out. From our 12 Year Strong show, from our anniversary show, go watch Jameson Shook versus Aaron Wade for the TWE Championship in Elevation. That's one of those matches that like I was watching in the moment, and because obviously they're two of my students that literally worked from like having their first match on the undercards of TWE to main eventing what is essentially the WrestleMania of like our show, right? So man, like that's a match that I watch and it's just perfect professional wrestling in my opinion.
100, absolutely. And you've been a place that has become a destination. Like you said earlier, you like some people said it wasn't even going to last a year, and here you are. You've brought in so many different companies, different faces, different people, different matches. It's freaking beautiful what you got going on, man.
It's incredible. And like honestly, sometimes because you're in it, you don't really take a second to stop and smell the roses. But then like people like you, and even like so many others, like they'll come up to me. Like I remember in particular at ICW a few weeks ago, I had somebody come up to me and they're like, do you realize what you're doing here and how incredible it is? And like it was in that moment I was like, man, like it reminded me this building is so special and it's seen so many incredible fights. And we made so many memories in that building that like are essentially in TWE canon, which is like so cool to think about. Like, there's things that happen on like an ICW or a Jameson Shook show or a SCI show that correlates with like storylines and things that we're doing at TWE. So like
Oh
it's
yeah.
all so cool to know that that's intertwined with what's happening in the building.
Oh, 100%. And earlier you brought up Mr. Jameson Shook, and we got a fan submitted question about him. The question being, what is the future looking like for 4825? And what made you want to tag with Jameson Shook? I know currently you're on the shelf right now with a little injury.
Yeah. So it's the future of 4825 is still bright. It's unclear at the moment, but it's bright. Obviously, us having to vacate the IWTV Independent Wrestling World Tag Team Championships was not in the books. We didn't want to do it. But obviously, it was the right thing that had to be done. But no, whenever I'm healthy, whenever I'm ready to go after recovery from my ACL surgery, I'm definitely wanting to get back at it with Jameson on the road. As far as like how we started teaming and what made me want to choose teaming with him. So there was a show in Sevierville, Tennessee called NWA Crossfire, and they had reached out to me and they had wanted me to return. I've wrestled for the company on and off for years. They've been around forever, and they had told me that they wanted me to tag with somebody, and they had asked for like a younger guy who's like really athletic, and I was like, well, of course, Jameson Shook. So I hit up Jameson. I was like, hey man, you want to do this? Like it'll be like once a month thing we'll be doing, and he's like, yeah, sure, why not? So we started doing that there. We had a really good match with Top Team in our first match as a tag team, and then New South wanted to start using us, and so we started teaming at New South, and then we get the call from IWTV to come up to Beyond and challenge for the IWTV Tag Team Championships. And it was such short notice. Like it was like maybe like a few days before. So like we had to quickly get flights and all that. And then we go up there and we win the championships. And like we weren't even a tag team for that long. Like literally that week we just got matching gear. Like, you know what I mean? So like, and even then, like we got our theme song made the week that we won the championships. Like that's how quickly 4825 came together. We were very much flying by the seat of our pants, but then like it became what it is. And like that's just organic, man. Like, and since then, like, we walk into a show, we see fans, we hear it. That's 4825. That's 4825. You hear it all the time. And once again, it was just something that like kind of came together organically and we didn't force. And it's just us being us. And I think that's why it works so well and why it will continue to work whenever I'm back. But
Absolutely. I
but I mean,
love it.
until then, Jameson's doing great. He's going to keep killing it.
I watched it today. He had a banger with Eric Dillinger at
So
CZW.
so good.
Absolutely. And we also have this question here. Jaden Newman, what are some of your favorite wrestling matches that you've been in so far? 13 years deep. Probably wrestled damn near almost everybody.
Yeah, it's man. So at about like, funny enough, a couple years ago, I was submitting something for like it was like I think TNA was doing like their gut check thing or something. So like I submitted like they asked how many matches you had. Like I was like, oh my god, like I'm so stupid. Whenever I first started wrestling, I wasn't counting my matches. I wasn't writing them down. So I went back and I found old posters. I dug through stuff that I had, old date books that I had. And then I looked, of course, like on Cage Match, which is never accurate. And like but I ended up totaling a lot of it. And I realized by the time I was like 8 to 9 years in, I had already had over 1,000 matches, which is insane to think about. But man, I've had so many really cool opportunities to step in the ring with really cool opponents. Some of my favorites that would come to mind, I would say, whenever I wrestled Jonathan Gresham on Uncharted Territory, that's one that was a lot of people consider like the best match of my career, and I agree in a lot of instances. That one also just meant so much because at the time he was the Ring of Honor World Champion. So for him to come to Chattanooga and like us do the modern age grappling rules and go like, almost 30 plus minutes with the man, right? That meant so much. Wrestling Timothy Thatcher is another one that like comes to mind that I was very, a very special match to me. And then since obviously Deathmatch United, we got to talk about some of the death matches, right? Like,
Oh, absolutely. That's actually one of the questions on the board, Jane. I'll just
yeah,
ask it anyways. What made you want to do death matches, and what are some of your favorite death matches you've done? So I guess you can reverse
that was a
answer
good
that
transition.
question.
I must be telepathic, man. So
There's been times where the questions just flow. It's
yeah,
craziness. It's the
no,
magic of the podcast.
this is flowing well. So like for me, what got me to want to do death matches, because I was a little weary about it for years, not because of like a dislike of death matches or anything. I actually love deathmatch wrestling. That was whenever I started discovering independent wrestling at like 11 and 12, and branching out, like seeing like some early CZW and like things of that sort at the time. Like that was really cool to me. And like I was watching like a lot of like John Moxley and like, Callahan, Tremont, and like all those guys. So it was always like in the back of my head, and I loved hardcore wrestling too, considering that I'm a Southern kid who, as I mentioned earlier, the match that I saw at an early age on an indie show in town. Um, but the opportunity came for me to dive into the world of deathmatch whenever ICW came to town for the second time, and it was the opportunity to wrestle Tank, who is also a Chattanooga native, but a deathmatch legend, right?
Oh, yeah.
And what a lot of people don't know is there was a lot of history between Tank and I. Tank was one of the people that I mentioned that would later on go on to like me, who didn't like me. There was a lot of heat between Tank and I. Like, did not like me, did not want me living, even, what I mean? So, like, but yeah, so, we squashed that heat and, like, we finally had a conversation. And it was one of those things where we're like, oh, like, sometimes you just have to sit down and have the conversation and you realize how stupid the heat is. So that was what ended up happening. We wrestled each other at the ICW versus TWE show. I believe that was in 2022. And after that, he gets on the mic and he publicly apologizes. But, my family's there, everyone's there. So, like, that's one of those death matches that means a lot to me for that reason, because I earned this guy's respect that I used to watch growing up, and then I just didn't understand why he didn't like me. So that was the one where it was like getting to wrestle him and like work with him, like maybe go, oh, like I really love this. I want to keep doing this, because I was somebody that if I was going to hop into the world of deathmatch, I wanted to make sure I gave it my all, because out of respect for the people that came before, right? Like I'm not trying to do deathmatch wrestling for clout. I'm not a fucking clout chaser. I love deathmatch wrestling. So, to be able to work with people like Tank and to be able to like even say that like Matt Tremont's one of like my best rivals. I wrestled him like,
Oh, yeah.
three or four times. And like, I just learned so much about the art of it from him. So, and then of course we have to mention the match with Danny, right? The second
Oh,
match
yeah.
with Danny where I take that was the first time I took tubes. First time we worked with tubes, and I took that crazy awesome bomb to the floor.
Danny's been absolutely murdering people with that. But Grandpa Daniel needs to stop with that move.
He
He's
really
hurting all
does.
the
Daniel,
youngsters.
save these kids, man. What are you doing? Stop.
Literally.
I took it so they don't have to.
And now everybody's taking it. Angel Metro, Jameson Shook, poor Anakin. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that
That list
was
can go on and on.
yes, but those are the matches that come to mind for me that like really meant a lot. And also, I'll even throw in there like wrestling Mo Hoodfoot
Oh yeah.
in the finals of the Battle of the Tough Guys for SPO, which rest in peace SPO always. Um, being able to say like I got to challenge for like a major deathmatch championship with the American Deathmatch Championship was like so fucking awesome, and like it meant so much to me, because I was a guy that was like, I felt like I shouldn't have advanced that far, but like I was so proud that I got to. And like, I love the deathmatch community, man.
100%. And I am now very curious because you brought up Tank, you brought up that beef with Tank. How did you end up in Coven of the Goat then? I'm very curious. That's not a question on the sheet. That just came to my mind.
Yeah, so before I became the moral compass, I was doing this number one shtick. That was my whole deal. Did a lot of this and a lot of this. But you know, I had realized that it was time for me to um turn a page in my career and like kind of like evolve into the next version of myself. Um and I had talks with the Reverend Dane Wilson about like things that I could do. And then it just kind of clicked because things were kind of coming together at TWE. There was a feud between the Coven of the Goat and the Deadwood Boys, which was Derek Neal's group at the time. And it was leading to this big war games, and they needed another guy. So then it clicked. I was going to leave the number one stuff behind, and I was going to find my way in the Coven of the Goat, and I was going to become the moral compass of professional wrestling. Do as I say, not as I do, right? So the Rev would then become my spiritual advisor. We had this really awesome reveal, and then broke my jaw.
Oh!
Yeah. So then I wasn't even in the War Games match. But yeah, so that was kind of how the idea came together of me joining the Coven of the Goat, and Tank, of course, gave the blessings. The original members of Coven of the Goat, Tank, Nathan Mowry, Killed Billy, shout out him, and CJ Lawler, the Midnight Rocket Man, another guy that I trained as well.
Also great guests on the podcast too. I can officially say, because I have you on, Gene, I've officially had all the Coven on the podcast.
There we go. Sick.
History in the big histories in the making for episode 100.
So yeah, that was kind of like how it happened, and then I came back in October, had my first match back in November against Brandon Kirk. And then we were kind of off to the races with Coven of the Goat.
Hell yeah. What a comeback match, that Brandon Kirk.
Yeah, shout out to him. I really hope that him and Casey are doing great.
They're about to be mother and father soon.
I
heard through the grapevines.
I heard. That's so awesome, man. They're
yeah. Shout out the Kirks. We miss them, but they're doing good. And that's all that matters for our good wrestling homies.
Absolutely.
And also, Jane, I'm going to keep the deathmatch questions flowing. I love asking this one to the talent. Jane Newman, what are some of your deathmatch no-nos? What are some weapons you're not too big a fan of? Some spots you won't do?
Oh, gosh. The first thing that comes to mind is Kinzons.
Okay.
Like, I see that shit, and I'm like, I'm so good, Chief. I don't know if I can do that one. But like, really, like, I would say carpet strips for me aren't like a no-no. They're definitely not a favorite by any means. Because like I've worked with them, but it's like, man, they just suck. They hurt. They don't make noise. They don't sound cool. So it's like,
unless you absolutely baseball swing them, which man.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh shit. But no, I really don't have any like no-nos, man. Like, those would probably be the ones that come to mind, really.
All right. Hey, listen, some people have a fair list, some people don't, so I respect it. And speaking of lists, that now brings me to this question. Jaden Newman, is there anyone on your pro wrestling bucket list? Is there still anyone you want to face out there?
In a death match?
And hey, either or.
Man, so there's a lot of people that I've been kind of curating on a list for whenever I come back, because it's been so nice to step back and watch what the current landscape of independent wrestling is right now, right? So, if I may, result to my list here.
Of course.
Just a few names. One in which I'll go ahead and drop, Bear Bronson.
Oh!
Bear Bronson's a guy that is absolutely fucking killing it. And I love what he's done in the world of deathmatch. And like, he's just an incredible professional wrestler overall. So like, I would love to challenge myself against him. Um, I want to wrestle Dimitri. I think wrestling Dimitri would be awesome. Great guy and awesome wrestler. The big one that I've always said that I've wanted. I would love to wrestle Nick Gage. That's high on the list for me. And then of course I'll say Joey Janela.
Hell yeah, that's a really solid list right there, Jaden. I love it. And
Yeah.
then we also got this question too. We got the dream opponents. I also got to know, what are some of your pro wrestling goals? 13 years in, obviously some people still have some.
Yeah, for sure. And like, it's weird for me because like, 13 years in, I'm only 27. So I'm still quite young to some. But yeah, no, as far as goals coming back, like, obviously it's to come back and have a match again. But like, I want to work on national television. I want to continue doing that. I really enjoyed whenever I worked for NWA, or like even my time with like the Dean events, like that were in conjunction with Ring of Honor. I really enjoyed those. I would love to get a WWE tryout. Regardless of like opinions of the WWE, like that's been the dream of mine since I was a child. So just to say that I got invited to the floor, that I was considered one of the best to step into there, like I would love that. That would really mean a lot to me and be a feather in my cap.
Absolutely. And I believe you've already went international.
Yes, absolutely. So like I would love to do more international too. Like I was so lucky to one of the first places I got to go internationally was WXW. And man, like just to go there and experience that was insane. Like I was so spoiled to be able to like start with such like a great company.
100%. That is like the top company over in Germany.
Yes.
WXW kills it every time.
Yeah, so now I've looked at Germany, England, I've done Scotland, I've done Canada. So, I'm just wanting to really like, I would love to go back over to Europe and just like kind of run through there. But like also, like, of course, Japan's like a super big goal of mine as well. Like, that's one of those that like I want to earn though. Like, I don't just want to like pay to play by any means.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I very much feel that like Japan is something that like is earned. You don't just
100%.
So that's the route I want to go.
I love it. The determination to get the big one. And now, Jaden, if you watch this podcast, you know how we do it. We talked a little wrestling, and now we get to talk the out of wrestling. Jaden Newman, any cool interests outside of pro wrestling?
Yeah, so over the last like really 3 or 4 years, I've started like kind of branching out of pro wrestling and doing other cool stuff. During like, the summertime and like whenever it gets a little bit warm, like I really enjoy hiking. That's really fun to do. We've gone to a bunch of different places, myself and my partner, and like we've, just went to all these different sites and seen so many beautiful things. But like also like got into like rafting and kayaking. I think that's super cool. Like a lot of the outdoor stuff I'm really beginning to enjoy. So I love that. I like going to the movies, man. Like I love going to the movies and finding new and obscure ones. Like I don't even like watching trailers most of the time for the movies that I go to. Like especially like going in blind to a movie to me.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Well,
that's
we got
questions I like to do.
I was going to say, we got questions covering both those things. Funny enough, a fan-submitted question. Jade Newman, tell us about your love for hiking and what's been your highest hike?
Oh, gosh, my highest hike. I would say probably when we did Mount LeConte. That's in North Carolina, like in the Smoky Mountains. Like that was a super big one that we did. I can't really remember like what the elevation of it was or any of the cool numbers like that. So I'm sorry, but that's one that I would definitely recommend. Like just go look up Mount LeConte in North Carolina and like, you'll be like, oh, wow.
I'll probably be amazed.
Yeah, it was super cool. Very, very cool.
I love it. And then you also said movies. So we got this question too. Jay Newman, what is your favorite movie of all time?
All right, so I can't name just one movie. I'm just
Hey,
gonna
if you
go
got
ahead
a
and try
top
and give
five,
you. I'm gonna try and give you top five. All right, and this might shock some of y'all. If it does, I'm sorry. So we got coming in at number one, Titanic. Love Titanic. Coming in at number two, we have The Great Gatsby. Two Liam films, I know. Coming in at number three, we have Step Brothers.
okay, three classics. I will say that.
Yes. Coming in at number four, The Campaign. Also a Will Ferrell. So we have two back to backs for two different actors.
I'm loving it.
And then number five, because I'm a huge fan of the holidays, I love Christmas, The Santa Claus.
That is a very, very solid lineup, Jaden. I love it. And ain't nothing is. Are we talking? That's the Tim Allen Santa Claus, right?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, that's the best. Like, to
Cannot
me,
beat
that's like
it.
one of the best Christmas movies of all time.
I couldn't agree with you. That is a great Christmas movie. And then we also have this. This is the last of the fan submitted questions here, Jaden. If you weren't a pro wrestler, what would you want to do in life?
Man, that's a loaded question. Um, I'm not really sure, actually. Over the years, it's obviously been things I've thought about, but like I've been so dedicated to pro wrestling since I was a little kid. It's like unsure, but I guess like I probably would have loved to have been like a musician or something. Like I would have loved to have buckled down and learned music because I love music a lot too. Like so, yeah, probably been like a musician or something. Catch me on the side of the road playing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I love it. And we do have a music question too here, Jaden. One of my favorite ones because all the guests usually give me something a little different every time. Jaden Newman, if you could book your dream concert lineup, 3 to 4 bands or artists could be anyone, anytime period, dead or alive.
Oh
What would
man.
the lineup be?
Oh my god. That's such a good question. So, oh man, this is gonna go a little bit all over the place, probably.
Let's
Maybe it
do
does.
it.
So I would probably say this is off the top of my head. We're going A Day to Remember. We're going Hot Mulligan.
Yes, I'm loving this.
We're
Big
going
Hot Mulligan fans over here.
we're going The Descendants. We're going Suicide Boys.
Okay. That is a perfect lineup. That's so like modern agey, but still like all those bands are like 2010-ish-y. Like
Yeah,
that's when they all start branching out, start getting bigger. And yeah,
exactly.
I am for it.
And then another one of the headliners. I might get flack for this. I don't care. Eminem.
All right.
Huge Eminem fan. So
Hey,
like a
that
little bit
would
of
be
rap,
the
a little bit of
headliner.
punk.
I am for it. And now, Jaden, we get into the food questions. I love asking this
Oh,
one
let's
because
go.
this is gonna be the crazy one here. Jaden Newman, I got no 13 years traveling all up and down the road. What is your favorite on the road snack and beverage combo? What are some of your on the road necessities that you always got in the car?
Oh my gosh. So normally if we're on the road, especially like well, I feel like now everywhere kind of has a Buc-ee's, right? But it's primarily in the South.
We're
Um,
getting one in Milwaukee, in the Wisconsin area soon.
there you go. That you have been
It's made
blessed.
its name out here,
You have
so
been blessed by the buck.
I
So
can't wait.
for me, I think my go-to on the road is if we're stopping at like a Buc-ee's or like a Love's or anything like that. Um, I'm gonna get like the sour strips. I love the sour strips. They have to be the red ones though, like the strawberry, the cherry, any of those. I love those. And then I'm gonna pair that with either a Pepsi Zero or I'm gonna pair that with an unsweet tea.
I love it. All the sugar free. What about any savory dishes at these on the road stops?
Oh geez, yeah. Like if I'm doing that, like if I'm gonna go crazy, like I'm just gonna do like a soda suicide. I'd be like, yo, let's get a little bit of Pepsi. Nah, let's get a little bit of Dr. Pepper. Nah, let's do this, right? But yeah, I'll do that sometimes if I'm like really feeling it.
I love it. Well, Jaden, then we also got this question here. What is your favorite kind of sandwich?
My favorite kind of sandwich, other than the
Oh,
one that
yeah.
you eat, um, man, let me think. That's a great question. Oh man,
The food questions are how we really get to know the talent here.
yeah, no kidding. Holy shit. Um, so like, I would assume because some people like they like to separate the idea of like a sandwich and a burger. I think that's weird. But what do you think? Do you think that's like
I'd count it. It's in between two nice pieces of bread.
okay? There we go. So my favorite type of sandwich. This is gonna sound crazy because I primarily eat this if I'm traveling, but if there's a steak and shake nearby, I get the 7x7. And it's two patties, right? Your top, your bottom, 7 pieces of meat, 7 pieces of pepper jack cheese. Normally, I'll throw some mushrooms on there. All today. That's it. That's my
You
sandwich.
crazy bastard. Now, what kind of shake do you get at Steak and Shake?
Oh, my shake, man! I normally get a Kit Kat milkshake, just vanilla
Hell
Kit Kat or
yeah.
whatever they put in that shit. It's crack. I love it.
I also got to know because you have access to this and I don't. Jaden Newman, what is your cookout order?
I knew you were about to ask that. All right, so here it is.
That's once again not even a question on the board. Question that came to the old.
No,
hot
that's a
dog
great
mind.
one though.
I
It's a
love
good
it.
question. I live 5 minutes from the cookout, so it's very easily accessible for me. I leave the gym, I go to the cookout, right?
Oh,
I what I'll do is I'll get a box, right? I'll get the little tray gimmick, and I'll do a big double meat and cheese with A1 sauce and Cajun seasoning with a double Cajun fry, a large sweet tea, and blueberry cheesecake milkshake.
oh my goodness! I was waiting for the milkshake because every time someone's heading your way to the Tito, they're like, "I'm heading to cookout." I'm like, "Oh," and then they send me the scroll
Dude,
long milkshake menu, and I'm like, "Oh
chicken nuggets are
my
a
god!"
fucking side. Like, where the fuck else is chicken nuggets a side? You know what I
Like
mean?
nowhere.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, that's definitely one of the things I'm doing when I come to TWE. I gotta try cookout. I gotta try this. Oh my god, what is it called? The City Cafe or whatever it's called.
Yes, you have to go to the City Cafe. We got 3 of them around here. So the best one, this is where I'm gonna put you all on game. Because I know everyone likes to go out to the one on Lee Highway, the Best Western one, because that's where all the SCI lore is. But the best City Cafe, downtown. Downtown, that's the one that's 24 hours, 24/7. That's the one where you're gonna get the freshest food, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, there you go. A little travel tip for you from Jaden Newman right there. I love it. And then we also have this question here, Jaden. I've been asking this one recently. This is our newest question of the food ones.
Oh,
What is
exciting.
your perfect appetizer platter? You have
Oh,
up to 5 items.
my perfect appetizer platter. So you got to go moss sticks, right?
I
Moss
recently
sticks.
I recently housed a 1 pound mozzarella stick recently. It was craziness.
Fucking what?
Yeah. Oh, Jaden, I'll have to send you pictures of this thing
Please.
after we. Actually, I'll just show you it after we record this because it was the cheese pull was insane.
You should get Pookie to make a little Pookie like moss stick. Like that's what you need. Send for Pookie.
I am gonna have Pookie with a design suit, and you're getting credit for it.
So we got the moss sticks. I love the little like the Southwest egg rolls. I think those are always so fucking good. And then I love wings. So I think that would be my little tray gimmick. That's my little appetizer platter.
And he cuts it in three. Hey, listen, sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes you don't gotta go crazy with 5.
Yeah, no, three's for me. That's it.
I love it. And then we have this one here, Jaden. What is your favorite kind of pie?
My favorite kind of pie. Oh shit. So my favorite kind of pie.
I know TWE's got a lot of crazy cakes.
Dude, yeah, the Bobby Banks cake, dude. We have it every time. Not your mama's Bobby Banks cake. A staple of the TWE arena now.
Or so I've been told.
Yes. So for me, my favorite pie is homemade apple pie. Eat that with some homemade vanilla ice cream, man. Not really homemade. You get it at like the Food City or something. But like, put it in the microwave, not with the ice cream. And then you just sit on the couch and you just go to town on that thing, man. That's the best kind of pie for me.
Absolutely. And then we also have this question here. So we're going to keep the pie questions rolling. Jaden Newman, what is your perfect pizza pie?
Oh God, yes. So this is actually a fun one because the last 2 weeks, my girlfriend and I, we've been kind of like on this journey of sorts where we started on Valentine's Day weekend, where we decided we were going to make our own pizza. So we bought dough from a restaurant here in town called Goodfellas Pizza, which is super good. Highly recommend that. And I found out also there's like different types of fucking pizza dough. I don't know. I'm not a pizza maker until now. Now I am.
I am the pizza maker, so
So
all
there
your
we go.
pizza questions come to me, my friend.
Please, absolutely. You are in my back pocket now, Dewey. So what we've been doing is we've been getting these different doughs and we've been working with them and making pizzas at home. So for me, my kind of pie, I'm going pepperoni. I'm going I think it's Chilean peppers, right?
Okay.
Throw some on
We're
there.
getting crazy with it already.
Uh, a little bit of pesto on it. A little pesto on the crust, and then also with that, um, feta. Get some feta and maybe a drizzle of hot honey on top.
Interestingly good, but I'm for it. There's definitely a tangy kick to it's hitting my mouth as you talked about it.
Well, man, hot honey.
I
Well,
can
that's the thing.
taste that.
Hot honey's taking the world by storm right
It
now,
is.
especially down here. So
We recently got it at my job, my place of work. And I told everyone, I was like, listen, I used to live in New York. Right as I was leaving there, we got it and it was blowing up. I was like, we're going to get it blowing up here in the Iowa region, somewhere that's not known for pizza, but the hot honey's been selling and it's been going crazy. So I am for it.
dude, I'm so glad. I'm an advocate for that shit. I tell everybody, get hot honey on it. I promise you it's going to change your life.
And you got to get the cuppy crisp pepperoni.
Oh,
Oh, cannot forget that one. That's
yes,
a key
so
factor.
absolutely.
But, Jaden, we got 3 questions left on the board.
Man,
I gotta know, what has been the most gratifying moment of your wrestling career so far?
the most gratifying moment of my wrestling career. So, I have 2. Number 1 being seeing all the people that I've trained go and do such incredible things, right? And that kind of takes it back to, talking about the school and things, but like, to me, like they're an extension of my career. Like one day, whenever I'm no longer wrestling and they still are, like, they're going to continue what I've done. So, man, like that's super gratifying to see them going out there and getting theirs now, right? And it holds me accountable too because it makes me want to continue getting it as well. The second most gratifying thing for me was probably winning the Scenic City Invitational Tournament in 2022 at my alma mater in Saudi Daisy. That to me was personal because obviously I graduated from that high school and it was I'm not afraid to say this here, like I was not prioritizing school whenever I was in high school. So anybody that's young that might be listening to this, like please like make sure like you're prioritizing school while you're there and like making sure like you're getting yourself ready for the real world, like because at that time like I was like I was leaving school early, I was like going in training and like I was not Billy Starks in the regard of I had great grades and I was a pro wrestler, right?
Yeah.
Which shout out to Billy, man, because she's absolutely
Oh
fucking
yeah.
incredible. I'm so proud of her. Like
Same,
I
man.
wish that I would have been like her whenever I was that age. But so like I was a sophomore for 4 years in my high school because I just didn't care about my grades, none of that. And it literally took a teacher coming up to me and saying some really mean shit to me that like got in my head that I was like, I'm gonna prove you wrong, man. So within a semester of my senior year, one semester I got all the credits I needed to graduate. And then I left there and I wrestled full time, like, went through the grind of that. So to be able to come back to a place that like I didn't necessarily feel wanted, kind of like doing the thing that like I wanted was like so gratifying, especially because like the original people that ran the Scenic City Invitational, um, not Scott Hensley or Matt Griffin, not them. They're great people. I love them so much. But like, the original people before that, like they told me flat out, they were like, you will never be in a Scenic City Invitational. You're not good enough. So to go and then win that years later in the place that I graduated from, in the town that I grew up in, down the road, 10 minutes from the road of where I, started my career, like, man, like it was so emotional. Like my whole family was there and like, I've got to do a lot of cool shit. You talked about it, international tours, things like that. That's one of those things that will be one and the same and up there with me. I could debut on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown tomorrow, and that will still be like one of my top 3 moments in my
Oh
career.
yeah, absolutely. And before I ask the second to last question, I forgot to ask this one during the whole show. Jade Newman, any pro wrestling advice for any of the young guns out there? I feel like you're one to give some pretty good advice to the future of wrestling.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm definitely like also like I'm little brother and big brother all at once, right? So it's it's something that I was told a lot coming up, uh, that stuck with me that I knew I didn't ever want to tell other people. I used to be told just quit, right? Quit while you're ahead. You don't want to do this. Here's the thing, man. Only a select few are lucky enough to be able to continue doing this. If you feel like you have a fucking dream and you have the fucking willpower to do this shit, fucking do it. But if you're gonna do it at the utmost ability. Put all you have into it. Because if you don't, this is gonna eat you alive. 100%. Like, this isn't easy. It's not for everybody. But if you really want it, you'll reap the benefits of it. You just gotta stick with it. Because you gotta sift through the negative shit. Because there's a lot of it, quite frankly. But if you sift through the negative shit, you keep a positive mentality, and you make sure that the crew you're with isn't a bunch of jackasses, you can do anything you fucking want.
I love that is perfect advice right there. And now that leads us into the second to last question. Jaden Newman, who is on your pro wrestling Mount Rushmore?
Oh, man. Shoot. So, this is always the question I get asked, and I have to think about it, even though I really don't have to think about it. So, for me, I would say CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Jimmy Rave. And this is such a random one. AJ, well, it's not really random. AJ Styles.
Solid lineup.
Jimmy and AJ, they were two Southern boys that like went out there and did it. And, to me, like that's inspiring. So I feel like it kind of makes sense for them to be on my Mount Rushmore.
100%. I remember someone was like, do I do it to like where everyone would agree with me, or do I do my own? I'm like, you do your
Fuck that.
personal
No,
four.
dude, be true to
Like
you.
it's
If
your
what matters
favorite
to you,
four.
it's you.
Oh yeah. And Jaden, we are down to the last question, and I cannot believe I have gotten to ask this question 100 freaking times. And I feel so honored that you are the 100th one to be asked this, because the deathmatch community has to know. Jaden Newman, what is your favorite kind of soup?
My favorite kind of soup?
Yes, sir. It's the whole reason we got this podcast.
Oh, let's fucking go. Ah, man. My favorite kind of fucking soup. So, call me a classic, man. Whatever you want. My favorite kind of soup is and this is the most pro wrestler fucking sounding shit. So I'm not trying to be cool body guy, but this is what I like. So, lately we've been doing a soup at home. It's been like a homemade tomato soup blended with cottage cheese. And then
Interesting.
and it's super good. It makes it super thick and it tastes so fucking creamy. And then you also put some like crushed red pepper flakes on it too.
I like it.
That is my favorite fucking soup. Protein powered tomato soup. Homemade.
I love. You should have heard the soup me and Big Dave were talking about yesterday.
I don't
Oh
want
my
to know about the
goodness.
soup Big Dave's sipping on.
Hey, listen. He told me we are gonna cook up a soup because he was like, someone's got to combine loaded baked potato and lobster bisque in a sort of way where
Oh,
it's gonna be like gnocchi lobster bisque, and we haven't told many people, and that episode is not released, so this stays between the three of us for
yes.
now. I'm making that soup tomorrow. And we
Okay.
will see. We will see how good the hype is behind it, because that soup, that's like two of my favorite soups right there combined. So
And wait, so Dave is already making this?
no. I'm gonna be making
You're
it
gonna make it.
because Dave gave me the idea, and I'm gonna give him the recipe if it's good.
Holy
So
shit.
yeah,
You know what? Send that recipe over my way as well if you do it.
I
Because
will.
I
I
love a
will.
good fucking lobster bisque.
That is my personal favorite soup, because back when I was a yee little young hot dog, I used to work at a bistro, and our big specialty was our lobster bisque, and I always made it in house every night. And it was, I missed that job. Yeah.
Jeez, man, I was literally just up in like Connecticut uh, the other month before my surgery, and I had probably some of the best lobster bisque of my fucking life, and I can't remember like the name of the restaurant we were at. It was like this little like gimmick that was on the water, but I was like, literally, it was
Oh
so.
yeah, that's how you know they got the good stuff. It
Yes,
was
I
on
was
the
like, it was
water.
so fucking good.
Hell yeah. Well, Jaden, we've talked the soup. Now I get to put you on the spotlight. Plug your social medias. Where can a booker find you to get booked when you're coming back? Where can someone sign up to go train at TWE? Merch plug, all that good stuff.
Man, this is going to be wild because I haven't done this with some of the new social media stuff I've added. So let's run it. All right, guys, if you're wanting to find me on social media, you can find me on Instagram at JADEN1NEWMAN, JADEN number one Newman, NEWMAN. I am not the female basketball player, I am the professional wrestler. So, in case you get lost looking for my account, that's what you need to know. JADEN1NEWMAN on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter or X now, as they say, on or at Jaden for real, JADEN number 4 real. Once again, not the female basketball player. I am the professional wrestler. So you can find me on those platforms. I'm on Facebook, Jaden Newman official. You can also follow 4825 official on Facebook as well. A lot of it's going to be Jameson and I's schedule and things that we're doing there. But yeah, and as far as merch, you can go to prowrestlingtees.com/Jaden Newman. That's where you're going to find my merch. That's where you're going to find 4825 merch. And we got a lot of really cool selections on there. We got a lot of really, really cool designs in the can as well. So excited to be dropping those over a little bit. I have a podcast coming out soon. So, Dewey, if you don't mind, I'm going to advertise that as well.
Go for it.
No Finish, No Filter. It's going to be coming out soon. My first guest, Jameson Shook.
Of
It
course.
makes the most sense. So that episode will be dropping soon. That's going to be available on my soon-to-be opening Patreon as well as YouTube, and I'm going to work on trying to get it on Spotify and all that fun stuff as well. So I'm excited to be entering the podcast world, especially while I'm down and out. If you want to be a pro wrestler, if you want to check out a TWE show in the Chattanooga area, follow TWE Chattanooga on Instagram at TWE Chattanooga. You can find us on Twitter or X at TWE_Chattanooga. And then follow the new TWE Performance Combine Instagram at TWE Performance Combine. It's super simple. You can find us on there. We're posting clips of things that we're doing in training, little fun things like that. And man, it's really cool to just see like the progress of everyone that we're going to be trying to highlight. So yeah, just join the journey, man. Join us.
I fucking love it. And Jaden Newman, before we put a big, beautiful bow on this 100th episode, is there anything you want to tell the fans out there before we wrap it up?
Don't forget about me. I am coming back. And whenever I come back, I'm coming for the run of a fucking lifetime.
Well, hell yeah. And for the moral compass, Jaden Newman, I'm Dewey the Hot Dog, Deathmatch United, Soups, death matches, and all good things in between. And I'll catch you on the next one.